Welcome back to another episode of the Legendary Wizards Podcast, a special presentation of the Windsor Wizards Broadcast Network. I'm your host, Mike Thompson, and today we're diving into something a little different. We're looking at the places where the legends of Windsor athletics unfold. We're going to talk about 4 iconic locations on campus and the incredible people they're named for. Episode 5, How the Venues Got Their Names. If you've ever been to a football game on a cool fall night, or caught a soccer or lacrosse match in the spring, you've stood or maybe screamed on the sidelines of H.J. Dudley Field. But who was H.J. Dudley? Jim Dudley didn't just serve this school, he defined it. Over the course of 34 years, Mr. Dudley wore nearly every hat you can imagine. He taught math, both at the high school and junior high levels. He coached, he was the principal at the junior high, and later, he became the athletic director at Windsor High School. If there was a job to be done to help kids and grow programs, Mr. Dudley was there to do it. In fact, ask anyone who's been around long enough, and they'll tell you Jim Dudley was Mr. Wizard. He poured himself into Windsor schools, showing up for athletes, students, and fellow educators alike. So it's no surprise that when the brand new stadium was built in 1979, the school district quickly rallied to name it after him. In the spring of 1980, it became official: H.J. Dudley Field. And here's something that speaks volumes. Mr. Dudley didn't fade into retirement quietly. Even after he stepped down in 1980, he was a fixture at Windsor track meets. His role? Firing the starter's pistol to kick off races. Even in retirement, he found ways to support kids, cheer them on, and keep the rhythm of Windsor athletics going strong. That legacy runs so deep, the school district's Teacher of the Year award is named in his honor. Many educators have accepted that award with his name attached. But Mr. Dudley wasn't just a part of Windsor schools, he shaped them. So the next time you walk into the stadium, whether it's Friday night under the lights or a Saturday morning soccer game, take a second to look at the sign that says H.J. Dudley Field, knowing that you're standing on ground that carries the name of a man who stood for excellence, for integrity, and for the heart of this community. Now we're stepping out onto the diamond, Mo Kwame Field, home of the Windsor varsity baseball team. Morris Mo Kwame was more than just a coach or a teacher. He was one of those rare people who saw the full potential in his students and did everything in his power to help them reach it. Mo taught math and computer programming in the Windsor School District for 14 years. He coached baseball, and he was part of 2 state championship football teams, 1981 and 1993, serving as a member of the coaching staff that helped make those title runs possible. In 1994, he was named Windsor High School's Coach of the Year. But Mo Kwame's greatness wasn't measured by wins or titles. It was in moments, the quiet ones. A word of encouragement to a student having a tough day. A pep talk to a player doubting himself. Mo was the kind of coach who never took credit and always gave it to his players or his fellow coaches. He was a champion as a coach, but more importantly, he was a champion of people. He also had a dream. Mo wanted Windsor High School to have a state-of-the-art scoreboard. He didn't want it for himself, he wanted it for the kids. In 1994, thanks to the tireless efforts of his wife, Pat Kwame, that dream came true through the funds collected by the Mo Kwame Memorial Fund. The scoreboard was installed, and with it, the Weld RA4 School District officially named the varsity baseball field in his honor, Mo Kwame Field. Even though that scoreboard was changed again in the 2020s, the legacy lives on. So the next time you're out at Mo Kwame Field, and the scoreboard lights up, take a second to remember the man who dreamed it into being, not for himself, but for all the Wizards who would follow. And his legacy continues to echo through every pitch, every swing, every inning played on that field. We've talked about the gridiron and the diamond, but now it's time to step indoors, to the heart of Windsor High School athletics, which in 2000 was named Reg Fiegel Gymnasium, home to our basketball and volleyball teams, classes, school assemblies, and some of the most electric moments in Windsor High history. But this space, this place where banners hang high and students gather, carries the name of a man whose influence reached far beyond the walls of the gym. Reginald "Reg" Fiegel. Reg Fiegel was a visionary. From 1966 to 1982, he served as principal of Windsor High School, and then went on to serve as assistant superintendent from 1982 to 1988. But to stop there would be like reading only the headline of an incredible story. Reg wasn't just an administrator. He was an architect of the Windsor we know today, literally. Reg played a pivotal role in the design and development of the current Windsor High School building. The very hallways our students walk today, the classrooms where teachers shape young minds, and yes, even the gymnasium, were all part of the legacy he helped build. But Reg's leadership wasn't confined to campus. It has been described that his middle name might as well have been volunteer. If there was a need in the community, Reg Fiegel stepped up, and more often than not, he brought others with him. He served with the American Heart Association, Windsor Lions Club, the Poudre River Trail Development, the Town of Windsor Recreation Board, and even lent his name and wisdom to the Colorado High School Activities Association. His work helped shape not just a school, but an entire town's commitment to health, recreation, and youth. And he didn't do it alone. Alongside his wife Carolyn, the two became a true force for good in the community. Together they co-chaired the Windsor Severance United Way, and in recognition of their incredible service, they were named Weld County Volunteers of the Year. In 1998, they were honored as Grand Marshals to the Harvest Festival Parade, a fitting tribute for two people who gave so much of themselves to Windsor. So when you walk into Reg Fiegel Gymnasium, when the lights are bright and the bleachers are packed, remember that name isn't just a plaque as you enter. It represents decades of service, leadership, and love for a community that still benefits from Reg Fiegel's vision. We're stepping off the main Windsor High School campus for now, taking a short trip down memory lane, both figuratively and literally, to what is now the Windsor Middle School campus. But for generations of Windsor athletes and fans, this was the home field, and it still carries the name of a man who served this town in a way no one else could. C.W. Sabin Field. The field was officially named in 1969 in honor of Dr. C.W. Sabin, and it served as the home of Windsor High School's football team until 1979, when H.J. Dudley Field took over. But even after that, Sabin Field remained a hub for high school sports well into the early 2000s. Today it continues to echo with the sounds of student athletes as the home field for Windsor Middle School. But who was Dr. C.W. Sabin? Well, to put it simply, he was Windsor's doctor. From 1932 until the later years of his life, Dr. Sabin served the medical needs of this town with a dedication that would be hard to match. His offices, first on 5th Street and later on Main, became community landmarks, not because of their location, but because of the man inside them. He brought life, literally, to Windsor. Dr. Sabin was quoted as saying he personally delivered over 1,000 babies during his time in practice. For many Windsor residents, he was the first person they ever met. And his generosity was just as memorable as his medical skill. According to a story published in the Windsor Beacon, Dr. Sabin never charged children for school, sports, scout, or activity examinations. If a kid needed to get out on the field or into the classroom, he made sure they could, no questions asked. But if you're thinking that's the most unique thing about Dr. Sabin, think again. Because for those who played football on that old field, the end of every quarter, half, or game wasn't marked by a horn or a buzzer. It was marked by a shotgun blast. That's right. Dr. Sabin had a tradition. Instead of a horn, he'd fire his trusty shotgun into the air to signal the end of play. It was loud, unmistakable, and 100% Windsor. So as the sun sets on C.W. Sabin Field each evening, and young athletes line up on the grass to compete, they do so under the name of someone who embodied service, who gave freely to others, and who quite literally helped bring Windsor to life. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Legendary Wizards podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Windsor Wizards Broadcast Network. And when you walk across these fields or step into the gym, remember the lives of 4 individuals who left lasting imprints, not just on buildings, but on a community. Be legendary, Wizards.